Purple, amber, purple again, amber. The third time tonight, his thumb rolls that little plastic dial on the LED strip, and somewhere in the back of his head, he knows this is the most decisive thing he's going to do all week. Not the email he didn't send, not the class he didn't go to. This. The color of the light hitting a wall nobody else will ever see. He tells himself he's just setting the vibe. That's the phrase, setting the vibe. Like he's a director, like there's a scene about to happen in here. There isn't. There's him, the chair, the desk, the same hoodie he's worn for 60 hours, and a phone lying face down on the mattress like he taped a wire to it and is waiting for it to detonate. He flips it over. No notifications. He flips it back, face down. Bomb defused. 12 seconds pass. He flips it over again. The room is small. The room is curated. There's a specific corner of the desk he keeps clean because that corner shows up in his camera angle for class. The rest is sediment. Receipts, a charging cable that doesn't go to anything anymore, a water glass with a fingerprint ladder climbing the side. He doesn't see any of it. He sees the LED strip. He sees the dial. He's running the numbers on whether amber or warm white makes him look less dead on a Zoom call he's already decided to skip. Here's how he sells it to himself. He's good at this part. He's been practicing. Outside, he says, outside is loud. Outside is expensive. Coffee is $6 now, and the barista does that little eyebrow thing when you can't decide. Outside is full of people who might catch him buffering mid-sentence. That 2-second lag where his brain reboots and his face just sits there like a frozen loading screen. In here, every variable is controlled. Temperature, light, sound, who gets in, who gets ignored. He runs the cost-benefit out loud in his own head like a guy reading a pitch deck to an empty room. Outside, high cost, unpredictable yield. Inside, low cost, stable, sustainable. Sustainable. That's the word he keeps using, like he's a small business, like the goal of being 20 is to break even. He calls it his space, his sanctuary, the only place he can actually think. He said this so many times in his head, it started to sound like a brand. And the second the word sanctuary lands in his mouth, some quieter part of him flinches, because sanctuaries are also the places animals go when they can't survive in the wild anymore. He doesn't follow that thought. He pulls his phone back over. He opens the same app. He's opened it 9 times in the last 40 minutes. There is nothing new. There has not been anything new since 2:17 this afternoon, when a girl from a group project read his message and didn't respond. He's been autopsying that read receipt for 4 hours now. The exact timestamp, the fact that she replied to someone else 12 minutes later, the spacing of her last text, 3 sentences, no period at the end, which means what? Casual? Cold? Distracted? He runs that through the equation too. And this is the equation. This is the math he can't stop doing. Path 1, text her again. Double text, look thirsty, look unstable, give her ammunition, hand someone a small knife and trust them not to use it. Risk the fall. The reward is, what, maybe a conversation? Maybe a friend? Maybe one less Tuesday night where the dial click is the loudest sound in his life. Path 2, do nothing. Stay in here, stay safe. The reward is he never has to feel the specific flavor of humiliation he felt in 10th grade when he asked Hannah Cordero to the winter formal and she laughed. Not mean, that's the worst part. Just startled, like he'd suggested something physically impossible. He still pulls that memory up like a receipt. Like proof. Like, see, the math doesn't math. People said no the last time, people will say no the next time. So, he puts the phone face down again. The LED is still amber. He liked it better on purple. He doesn't change it back. He just sits there, in the controlled temperature, in the controlled light, in the controlled silence, and tells himself this is what thinking feels like. It isn't. It's just the hum. Here's the part he doesn't say out loud. Here's the part the dial click is hiding. This room is not a sanctuary. It's an exhibit. Look at it. Actually, look. The poster on the wall is from a band he hasn't listened to in 2 years, but he keeps it because the kid who bought it at 16 would have thought taking it down was a betrayal. The guitar in the corner has 3 strings. He bought it during the lockdown summer because he was going to finally learn. He learned 4 chords. The capo is still clipped to the 2nd fret, exactly where he left it the night he gave up. He hasn't moved it. He won't move it. Moving it would be admitting something. There's a stack of books on the shelf, 6 of them. Every single one has a bookmark wedged somewhere between page 9 and page 12. He starts books the way other people start diets, with a clean, performative hope that lasts about a chapter and a half. The bookmarks are little flags planted on islands he never colonized, and he keeps the books visible, spine out, so that anyone who ever walked in here, and nobody walks in here, would think, oh, he reads. This is the museum. This is the exhibit. He's not living in this room. He's curating a small, climate-controlled diorama of the person he used to almost be. The kid who was going to play guitar. The kid who was going to read Dostoevsky. The kid who was going to. Every object on every shelf is a tiny monument to a future that already died. And he dusts them. He arranges them. He buys little LED strips to light them better. And here's the sick part. Here's the math nobody warns you about. Every upgrade makes the cage prettier. Every upgrade makes the cage harder to leave. The new pillow he bought last month? Memory foam, $80. The one he told himself would fix his neck so he could finally focus. That pillow is a brick in the wall. The plant on the windowsill that he keeps alive with the discipline of a man who can't keep himself alive. That plant is a brick in the wall. The little neon sign that says something ironic in cursive, brick. The rug, brick. The blackout curtains he installed so the morning sun wouldn't interrupt his sleep schedule, those are bricks too, and he laid them himself, and he paid for the mortar. This is what nobody tells you about hiding. Hiding gets expensive. Hiding has a subscription model, and every dollar you spend making your hiding spot more comfortable is a dollar you're spending to make leaving feel more insane. Because who walks out on something this nice? Who abandons a setup this dialed in? You don't. You stay. You optimize. You add another shelf. And underneath all of it, running in the background like a process he can't kill, the algorithm. The one he wrote himself in 10th grade in the gym at the winter formal. The one that says, people leave, people laugh, people read the message and don't respond. So if you build a small enough world with a small enough door and you fill it with enough soft objects, nobody can leave you because nobody can get in. He wins the argument. Every night, he wins the argument. He proves with data, with receipts, with timestamps that nobody is coming. And then he lies down in the bed he made and quietly suffocates on being right. That's the trade. That's the whole trade. He gets to be correct, and in exchange, he gets to be alone. And he keeps choosing it. He keeps choosing it. He keeps choosing it. The phone buzzes. Not a text. Worse, a delivery notification. The little green check mark. Your package has been delivered. He knows what it is before he stands up. He ordered it Tuesday at 2 a.m., that specific flavor of late night where the cart fills itself. A desk lamp. Brass finish base, articulating arm, warm white bulb, dimmable, $74.99 with the student discount. He told himself when he clicked buy that this was the one. The lighting in here had been off. The current bulb was making him unproductive. Once the new lamp got here, he'd finally be able to focus, finally crack open the textbook, finally, and the sentence trailed off into the card confirmation page. He pads down the hall in socks, doesn't make eye contact with the kitchen. The box is on the porch, perfectly square, taped shut with the kind of care he hasn't shown himself in months. He brings it back upstairs, closes the door, locks it. Habit. He sits on the floor. The box opener is already on the desk, because there's always a box. He cuts the tape in one clean line, and the cardboard sighs open, and there it is. Brass. Heavier than he thought it would be. Beautiful, honestly. He sets it down and just looks at it for a second. And this is where the spiral starts. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a quiet click in the back of his skull, like a circuit closing. Because he sees it now. He sees the whole thing. The lamp on the desk, next to the candle that was supposed to fix his anxiety, next to the noise-canceling headphones that were supposed to fix his concentration, next to the planner that was supposed to fix his time, next to the weighted blanket that was supposed to fix his sleep, next to the $80 pillow that was supposed to fix his neck. A whole museum gift shop of objects that were each, individually, going to be the one, the thing that fixed him. And here's the fork. Here's where the floor splits open. Path A. He puts the lamp down. He doesn't plug it in. He sits with the truth that buying things for this room is the same thing as signing a lease on staying in it. That every upgrade is a renewal notice. That if he ever actually planned on leaving the room, leaving the house, leaving this whole shrink-wrapped version of himself, he wouldn't be optimizing the lighting. You don't redecorate a hotel room. You redecorate a place you're not leaving. Path A means he has to feel the full weight of that sentence land. The sentence being, I am planning to be in here forever, and I have been paying for it in installments. Path B. He plugs it in. He clicks it on. He adjusts the warmth dial. Gold. Perfect. Cinematic. He says, in the quietest voice in his head, the same line he always says, "This'll help. I'll focus now. I'll get out more once I'm rested. Once the room feels right. Once I'm ready." And he adds the lamp to the pile. He files it under Sanctuary. He logs the receipt. He tells himself the lie one more time, with feeling, because the lie is softer than the floor underneath it. He looks at the lamp. He looks at the outlet. The lie isn't even a lie he believes anymore. That's the worst part. He just prefers it. He prefers the lie the way a tired animal prefers a warm cage to a cold field. He's not being fooled. He's choosing. He reaches for the cord. The plug slides into the socket. The lamp clicks on, warm and gold, exactly the color the website promised. The light pools across the desk like honey. It is, objectively, perfect. He doesn't move. He sits on the floor in his hoodie, in the perfect light, and he knows. He knows exactly what he just did. He knows the lamp won't fix anything. He knows tomorrow there'll be another box, and another after that, and the room will get prettier, and the door will get heavier. And one day, he'll be 30 in here, wondering where it went. The cardboard box is still open at his feet, flaps spread, empty, quiet. A small, polite grave he paid extra for next day shipping. The dial is still amber. He doesn't change it.